What's going on, everybody? This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, an awesome morning. Boom dia to everyone. I wanted to jump on right quick. I'm actually on the way to open up my business, and I had a thought. I know that there's been a little rift going on between one of the dating coaches and his perception of those of us who travel, or those of us who have probably been in either are in long-term relationships or are married to people abroad, or just the travel community on a whole. And when I thought about that, and I've seen a few of the responses, and if somebody hits you, you definitely want to hit back. That's the natural working of order of things. I'll say it that way. Another thing I thought about had to do with something that happened this morning. While I was on my way to follow my wife, take my son to get some vaccinations, toddlers, they have to have these vaccinations. There was a rush of people in one lane, and they got over into another lane, and they started going fast. And what happened was, not paying attention, I began to trail rather fastly the car that was in front of me, one of the ones who had kind of switched over and got in my lane. And unbeknownst to me, everything else ahead of me, about 4 cars ahead of me, had kind of came to a screeching halt. Well, to make a long story short, I almost got into an accident simply because I was following the dictates of somebody else who had gotten out of their lane and gotten in my lane. And so, not paying attention, I almost crashed. And I thought about how it's easy for somebody to get in somebody else's lane and try to bring the criteria that is in their lane into another person's lane, and then to be discouraging and throw all of these ad hominem attacks and just kind of like be pejorative and all of that stuff, not realizing that things don't operate in this lane the way they operate in that lane. I was watching a movie, and I'm sure many of you guys have watched it, and that was the American Gangster. And Denzel Washington's character, Frank Lucas, pulls his brother aside because his brother was fascinated by by Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, Nicky Barnes. And Nicky Barnes was, brash, loud, had to be seen, very charismatic, all of that stuff. And he pulled him to the side and he said, why are you dressed like that? He said, you know what you look like? You look like a clown. And then he said, well, you want to be like this guy? This guy was loud, he was brash, and he said something. He said, always remember, the loudest person in the room is the weakest one. And so I thought about that in regards to the gentleman that is just kind of like just throwing these barrage of attacks, being very loud, trying to be seen, trying to be heard. You can tell people's strength based on the decibel level of their voice. So if you're throwing all of these attacks at people who haven't said anything disparaging about you, then you're showing your strength or your lack thereof. So I would just say to my brothers, listen, people are going to be people, man. There are not a lot of people that's going to agree with how people in the travel community do things, and in some cases vice versa. But if we operate in our own lane and we keep driving at the rate that we're going, we'll only crash if we follow the dictates of somebody who get in our lane and then we try to keep pace with them. Don't do it. It's futile. It's worth nothing. Let's keep doing what we're doing, because the truth of the matter is this: people who believe that rhetoric that the guy's spewing, there's no convincing. They're gonna believe it. People who don't believe it, they're not gonna believe it. And people that's in the middle, let them make their own opinion, their own decision. They're rational. Hopefully, they're rational thinking. Well, let's just say they're rational thinking human beings. Let them see both sides of it, and let them make a decision that they can live with, a decision that works for them. And let's keep rocking in the free world. Let's keep doing our thing, man. So anyway, I wasn't going to be on here very quick. I just wanted to give my 2 cents, if you will. Not bashing, not disparaging anybody, but not following the dictates of somebody who's coming after people in the travel community, talking on subjects that they know nothing about. So in any event, you guys have a blessed day. I will see you soon, and it is true. This is your man Larry, the American Brazil. Tenham um bom dia abençoado. Até breve. É verdade. Tchau, beijos e abraços.